Your blessing and wisdom upon this Parliament. Direct and prosper proceedings to the peace and welfare of people of Solomon Islands. We ask this in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Parliament resumes.
Asking and answering of questions.
Question number 78 to be asked by the Leader of Opposition and member for Auke Langlanga.
Retake, Mr. Speaker, and Gau Temahwata. So, question number 78, I think the Minister might have made some responses during Committee of Supply, but Emi Golo Aviation Minister and Rido Sem, does the Ministry have plans to construct an airport in East Rennell? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to thank the Leader of Opposition and MP Blongo Auke Langlanga for the question. Mr. Speaker, as we just passed the budget for 2026 last week, the Rennell Bellona Airport is part of the airport that the Ministry has look for doing a feasibility study. So it's in the plan for the Ministry. As I speak here, Mr. Speaker, there are 5 interested groups along Rennell who have approached the Ministry for the site. However, Mr. Speaker said, where for footing, the Ministry haven't decided, but it must be best for the purpose that we want to, the government would like to build. It must make sure have maximum benefit to the rural people and also for the government, the province and the government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. Honourable Member for West Harare.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Minister. Supplementary question. Law service meeting Emi current merit because for saving Okata the province in Ea Noma Okata rely on him because CPM no color the all way and Emi that limited as well. In terms of profitability, if we put in meeting by him be profitable and looking at the Solomon Islands so that the Ministry can invest into that one. If that is the case, I really encourage you to take a quick study so that you go into construction. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the member for West Harare for the supplementary question. Of course, yes, the plan for the Ministry now is to build a longer airstrip, 1 to 1.3 kilometers, which cater for bigger planes like DAS or ATR. And the intention is that they have certain routes to do within the circle and not just go for area number. So probably, let's say, go along Rennell, Bellona, might be along Makira, then round come along Malaita also. So that's the intention. Last night, the Ministry have its Christmas party, and I was privileged to have a chat with the acting CEO for Solomon Islands, and I raised that important point. And also he raised a point that he's worried about the domestic flights along Solomons, as some of these closer areas like Auki or even Gizo, fast crowds the CPM take him now, passengers. So we were discussing that probably we make a route that can cover 2 airports and 7 people. Reno Belona is a very important site for the government. As we move and as the government try to put decentralization along operations, we want to develop Reno Belona so that tourism is one of the place that by encouraging tourism for go along Reno Belona. It's a nice place for us to visit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable Member for West Harare.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for answer. Me look law that distance they quite remote as in Talasave, and the right and appropriate mode of transportation service. I think, Minister, you didn't straighten not didn't blow me. Include Temotu province as well. But me look the CSO, that is a community service application in terms of service government and some making. So look lebita supplement mokata fair blokata man Temotu. CPM just go up, but me patas class him head now lo fair. You miss a look lebit put him something for okata. Make him help him people blue me movements blokata go and come rather than okat pay him fair or airline him domestic but him win him Brisbane route ya me help him. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and thank the MP Blongo Istarare for the supplementary question. Of course, that's a very important point for government Lulukuluhem. And there are others, Law Chamber, who came and approached me for the airline for supplementary. My good MP Blongo Temotunede, he approached me and said, hey, can you make him same also in doing ship? Oh, good idea. I'll tell the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to look at him. But then, him something that people, the ministry must look at him, and how for even best utilizing these options. Because we might have a plan, but the unintended consequence is the thing that the government must look at him. But a very good point. Take note. Thank you, Speaker.
Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and just to also compliment the response by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Communication in response to the supplementary in relation to CSO. That's government policy in terms of a community service obligation for supporting the non-commercial routes that especially with Solomon Airlines that continue to service, especially like, but Renault are profitable, but the other places that no making profit. That's the purpose of CSO for supporting to make sure that the service may continue. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Minister of Finance. Honourable Member for West Harare.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Minister of Finance. Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister, for the answers. You informed House Law Party, and there was a concern raised by Solomon Airlines about profitability look at the routes here by Hemi Gogo because of the competition now. By Okata no longer profitable for the airline, and him tells our airline him struggle. Major reform him come in. What's your response in terms of imitate policy into 2026 for rescuing so many airlines, lot that competition, and him continue for saving need of our people that Okata need him airline services because Okata no service him Okata shipping and ocean frequently. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, West Arad, for that supplementary question. I think last night we had a good chat with the CEO, acting Long Solomon Airlines, and he raised a very important point. And I raised the point that the government is looking at improving or tasseling strategic airports. And he said some of these airports not necessarily needing tasseling. You must have upgrading no more, long gravel no more, cutting grass proper, and then the dust surface sit down. One of the challenges the airlines have is the maintenance and also the fuel. So the bigger plane in Migarim, no need for refuel long Latamua, or no need for refuel long Muda or Gizo or Auki. Him one round no more refuel honira, him round him route blow him come back. So that would reduce the challenge of Solomon Airlines for transporting fuel go to the airports. And on doing so, government must look for, as Mivala continue for improving the airports, long length to the airport and the ceiling, by him reducing now the challenges of the airlines and Gari. At this stage, the CEO was happy with the current stage because in peak time, Christmas time. So passengers long international and domestic him full. So they were happy at the moment. Thank you, Chairman. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Leader.
Thank you, sir. Just back to the original question, or East Renal. What now timeline where Ministry Luluk Lohem in terms of finishing assessment and being able to make a decision on whether construction or procurement process and start for East Renal Airport? Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you. One like thank the MP Belongo Aukilang and the Leader of Opposition for that supplementary question. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, this year we are planning 4. So, Avu along Coral Canal, East Coral Canal, we have signed the contract already. Atoifi, I should give him a contractor last week. And Maleta Outer Island, tender him go, close long 18 of this month. And then Moi, one Koro, tender process start the finalization of the documents, and hopefully him tender him go finance before the end of the year. On that case, we will get him a fresh start long next year with him Renault. We have Renault, might be East Malaita, might be Central Province, and might be Special Province. Those 4 now, Ministry like to look for feasibility study and for identifying where exactly now by putting other airports here. So I'm not going to give the tentative date or the actual date, but work by him start of January for the feasibility study, consultation with landowners, and for identifying from 5 other sites that give him at least 1, because we have to build him 2 too. So hopefully, January I've told the PS to start with the 4 sites for feasibility studies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable Member for West Ararai.
Thank you, Speaker. Supplementary question. Minister, lo tintin for reform and imiko cost effective ya para kutwana that one. And time you mentioned mokata places for imi saving like Avu, Moi, Temotu and Renbelli mitotok lahemya hem because by service lokata no more and by okata na fitim airline. Under that reform, why not look at taking plane here or airport block extended so the new plane him coming refuel here I'm go all the way now. No refill. I think that is a cost-effective feasibility study that you should think on focus for starting, Minister. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Chief, and I would like to thank the MP belong West R for that supplementary question. Mr. Speaker, time friend me West R hemi raising that concern. MP below Central Honera hemi smile to you because that's his idea, yeah, to you. He's been telling me to do that. Get that idea, of course. That is seriously looked at, and that is why we will try for the ceiling or the outer islands to 1 to 1.3 so that ATR not only does 80 him go, but we look at ATR so that time go along Temutu province might be an opportunity for go Vanuatu. Might be time go along western part of the Solomons, might be an opportunity for go along Bougainville and Papua New Guinea. So those are ideas, policies that the government have to look at. So we will support him. Thank you to Master MP belong West Harare for that very important point. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable Member for East Malaita.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would just like for first, thank you, Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Aviation, for I think on behalf of me and Brother Bromi, colleague Bromi, member of East Koyo, we are happy for her at Wifi Hospital, at Wifi Airport. I think that is a very important airport for Mifala that really also heavy for helping out sick too for transport to one area. I think Mifala finding very difficult, Mr. Speaker, at the moment with our sick people, and even not only people east or in Malaita, but all around Solomon Island, what are going there at Wifi. So, Minister, me here, me very happy, and I think if you could prioritize that next year, 2026, for quickly Ottawa. I think that only will like raise him and me thank him, Minister, for that. I know the tender process has been there already for Wakalo at the hospital. So, Mr. Speaker, me just like for emphasizing that if ministers are a little bit push for that one, since me help out the sick too, that for hospital. So I think that one, me talk here, me talk on behalf of me and colleague Blumilo East Koyo. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Minister?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to thank the MP belong East Malata and the leader along independent group for that thinking. Of course, ATV hemi priority block government. This week we will assign him a contract long awavu. Hopefully, we will assign him law ATV before end law year as well. And movement law the contractor for go there. If what garam sileno say go Christmas lo there na wakana. Otherwise they go straight after New Year. But that's a priority long government. So we have Abu Atoifi, Malaita Outer Island, and Wankoro as a priority. Hopefully done next year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Minister. Leader?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I do wish to thank the Minister. In terms of the airline and Nogat aircraft, forget them dash now. We must ATR now. So, all get a airstrip immediately finish him here. Even me no cater for dash, why we travel more, we must adjust him here. But I think the way into the future has to be ATR. Dash is not very profitable an aircraft to operate. Of course, but we still need him small one yet for small hiring and all that something also, but main transportation and uplift and for me down and more passes here. Passes plus all too expensive. Domestic, and they make a fine argument, but there are tools that could be used both by government and the airline to bring airfares come down, and so that you uplift any more. We're now more than 800,000 people, and they're still picking up total number of pickup log. Them still same as Mogat did 10 years ago. It's just not no make sense too much. So that's something we've got an ongoing dialogue. Insofar as CSO obligation where you may allocate more level of budget there, I think it's time we make it a little bit more realistic. So far, I mean, just token amount, and usually Solomon Water or Solomon Airlines, the unprofitable SOEs could make, requests. Those requests hasn't been as like bids. There should be a bidding process here, where SOEs say, "Oh, we'll provide them service here block government here, and so we're providing it, but I'm not profitable. This is the component for you to absorb them," and then finance can assess that, and then the response is more realistic, allowing them to actually make that service possible. So you're not putting the burden, commercial burden, on the operators, SOE operators. So franchise shipping, and because for private operators here, but SOEs have now CSO here. So we need to move away from token allocations to realistic allocations based on bids, but bids that are done a year ahead, so that budget process to be more realistic. So those should be my comments on that. But with that, sir, I do wish to thank both the Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister for their responses. Thank you.
Motion of Sine-Die.
Honourable members, debate on the motion of Sine-Die continues today. Members are again reminded to adhere to the rules of debate, and the floor is now open for debate. Thank you, Honourable Member for North New Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise to contribute to the motion moved by the Honourable Prime Minister that at the adjournment of Parliament on Wednesday, 17 December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned sine die. Honourable Speaker, the motion of sine die marks a significant constitutional and parliamentary milestone. It formally concludes the sittings of this House for the present session, bringing to a close a period of legislation, debate, scrutiny, and representation carried out on behalf of our people. During this session, this House has considered important bills, approved public expenditure, scrutinized government policy, and exercised its oversight responsibilities. The sine die adjournment therefore provides an opportunity for reflection, renewal, and preparation for the work that lies ahead. Importantly, Honourable Speaker, sine die does not mark the end of our responsibilities as members of Parliament. Rather, it allows us to return to our constituencies, to reconnect with our voters, to listen to their concerns, and to ensure that our future deliberations in this House remain firmly grounded in the aspirations and needs of the people we represent. Mr. Speaker, as we look to future sittings, may I make a sincere call for parliamentary proceedings to be lively, robust, and meaningful, while always maintaining worthy of the dignity, decorum, and traditions of this honourable House. A healthy democracy depends on vigorous debates and the free exchange of ideas. Let our debates be informed by facts, guided by policy substance, and driven by national interest. While we may differ in opinion, let us do so with respect for one another, for we all serve one country and its people. Honourable Speaker, may our future debates be energetic yet orderly. passionate yet principled, and always befitting the owner of this house. Mr. Speaker, Ms. Haveluluk Baiklo past houses, they were more livelier than the present one. Would not talk too much, but they were more livelier and of achieving what of like it. Honorable Speaker, as we conclude this session, we must learn from the past to chart the future. We must honestly reflect on our shortcomings, both in our conduct and in our performance, and commit ourselves to doing better in the next session of Parliament. Let the lessons learned strengthen our resolve to serve with humility, integrity, renewed purpose, always mindful that our ultimate accountability is to the people we represent. Mr. Speaker, as Solomon Islands approaches its 50th anniversary of independence in 2028, it is worth reflecting on how other Pacific nations are making this limestone. This year in September, our Honorable Prime Minister and his delegations was invited by the Honorable Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and other Pacific Island leaders to celebrate Papua New Guinea's 50th anniversary of independence. It was a golden jubilee that the Marape government used to make clear offerings to its people. It tied its anniversary to visible national events, concrete service delivery, and a clear narrative of where the country is heading next. PNG offered national inclusion through celebrations in every province and district, not just in the capital. It anchored the anniversary in unity and healing with a national program of prayer, repentance, and reconciliation, including a dedicated day to reaffirm peace on Bougainville. More importantly, Mr. Speaker, it linked symbolism to substance. The Prime Minister announced the commissioning of new schools, hospitals, and roads as legacy projects of independence. These are not abstract aspirations, but services people see, use, and measure. At the same time, PNG used its 50th anniversary to restate a path going forward. It framed the Jubilee as a turning point, a bridge between reflection and delivery with a clear focus. Mr. Speaker, we are moving to 2028 very fast. The lessons for Solomon Islands is simple. A 50th anniversary must offer more than just ceremonies. It must answer basic questions from our people. What are we delivering now for them in 2028? This is the standard of our people are expected from us. Mr. Speaker, what are we preparing for our provinces and provincial governments come 2028, July 7? Mr. Speaker, Western Province remains the only province in Solomon Islands without its own provincial assembly chamber. For more than 20 years, the provincial government has conducted its formal sittings in rented private premises in Gizo and other centers. That fact alone, say, should concern this House. A provincial assembly chamber is not a ceremonial building. It is a core institution of governance. It is where official provincial business is debated, budgets approved, ordinances passed, and leaders are held to account on behalf of the people. Sir, the financial consequences are equally troubling. 20 years of rental payments represent a significant and ongoing drain on provincial funds. Those payments have created no public assets, no long-term value, and no savings for the future administration. Mr. Speaker, the continued absence of a provincial assembly chamber is a serious gap in governance infrastructure. After 20 years of renting, this is no longer a question of resources. It is a question of priorities, accountability, and respect for the institution of provincial government. Do we consider it a worthwhile 50th anniversary present to the people of the Western Province? Let me ask, Mr. Speaker. Sir, these are the kinds of questions we need to ask ourselves for all our provinces. What should we offer them as 50th anniversary present? On this note, sir, me like for talk also. Maybe from next year onwards, you stop them now, second appointed day celebration. You stop them now. Let the provinces do their own celebration. You may receive him selenia. Try to give him a present on the 50th anniversary. Because second appointed day, he mean for you go give power and responsibility. Even if you do him that way, you go to take back power more. So you may leave him first time. On the same note, Mr. Speaker, me like him for thanking government for taking leading roles in regional and international gatherings last year, this year, and going forward. And as we prepare for the 50th year of independence in 2028, one absence continues to stand out, Mr. Speaker. Solomon Islands still does not have an official national dress. Before I come to Parliament, Mr. Speaker, me reading one newspaper article, that one for competition of the Holem, and some results came out, Solomon Kitano Mendana Hotel. Me come to Parliament 2014, story about national dress Kamwa. In 2023, the government, through the Ministry of Home Affairs, took a first step with the IUMI One Dress Show held under Seoul 2023 Pacific Game Cultural Program. This event was not symbolic. It was designed as the first stage of a structured process to identify designers, test ideas, and move forward toward a form of dress that could represent us as a nation. Designers competed, finalists were identified, and further rounds were planned for 2024. 2-3 more days before 2024 come to an end. The idea has stalled. Mr. Speaker, the process remains unfinished. The outcome of the IUMI One Dress initiative, as it stands today, is not a national dress. It is a pool of talent, a set of concepts, and an open door that still requires leadership to walk through it. Without clear direction and a formal decision, this effort risks fading into another well-intentioned program that never reaches its national purpose. Mr. Speaker, a national dress is not about fashion alone. It is about identity, who we are as a people and country. It is about how Solomon Islands presents itself when hosting leaders, athletes, artists, and visitors from around the world. Other nations do not hesitate on this question. They arrive with confidence, dressed in symbols that tell their story before a single word is spoken. This is not to be like them, but rather to be like us. Mr. Speaker, time is no longer on our side. The 50th anniversary of independence is approaching quickly. That milestone will bring ceremonies, international attention, and moments of reflection. It would be a missed opportunity of historic proportions if we reach that anniversary still debating our national address. Solomon Islands will never be a happy island. The groundwork has already been laid, sir. Ideas exist. What is now required is a clear pathway forward, a decision framework, a timeline that leads to adoption, recognition, and use across official functions. Hemchip no mo Mr. Speaker. National dress hemchip. Building big something here now, expensive. And when we have this dress, national dress, Mr. Speaker, everyone Los Solomon sabi afford them no more. This is where participation will be very high and can be measured. Mr. Speaker, this is not a matter for delay. It is a matter of national maturity. We had passed the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. We should all look forward to implement the programs we all agreed to finance and implement. On the same note, we all must endeavor to find solutions on how to manage and narrow the deficit gap. Mr. Speaker, we can narrow the gap if we choose quality programs that leads to growth and reduces external borrowings. I propose very strongly to this government that in order for us to assist in managing and narrowing the deficit gap, a highway from Noro and Sege must be constructed. Standing idle and almost forgotten plantation timber resources worth millions of dollars are along the way. These, if harvested, would certainly bring the revenue our country needs by way of taxes to narrow the deficit gap. The international seaport in Noro is available to export timber resources, but not currently, Mr. Speaker. Egon Plantation Limited is next door. It is a market for plantation timber resources, but underutilized. We have KPL on the island of Kolombangar. The prerequisite is the Noro-Sege Highway. Me say highway, Mr. Speaker, not the road, highway now. O say, no go down, mas high all the way now. If you ask me when should we commence construction of the highway, my response will be January 2026. Suppose no Christmas and New Year same, by me respond all same. Now, all same no. The agency to narrow and manage the deficit gap is now, not later. If you vote for the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025, you vote for the deficit gap, and you also vote to find a solution to narrow the gap. Let us be serious and think not outside of the box, but think without a box. Leave me out a box here. Honorable Prime Minister, I leave this to you for your serious consideration. Where there is a will, there is a way. Mr. Speaker, before the House adjourns, it is both fitting and proper that we record our sincere appreciation to all those who have supported the work of Parliament during this session. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your role and responsibility in keeping order in the House without fear or favour. I thank the Clerk of the National Parliament and his staff for their service in ensuring Parliament is given and provided the support it needs. I wish to thank the government for its legislative program and policy initiatives, and all honourable members of Parliament on both sides of the House for their participation, contributions, and commitments to democratic governance. I also extend my gratitude to the judiciary, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, and those who serve on the bench and the bar for upholding the rule of law and constitutional order, and to our public servants whose dedication ensures effective functioning of government. I would also like to thank teachers and nurses for the hard work in saving the people of this country, members of the discipline forces. We thank the private sector, state-owned enterprises, and our development partners for helping us in times when we need their assistance most. As we go into the period of Christmas and New Year's Day, I would like to extend our greetings to all members of Parliament and your constituents. May we all enjoy the festive seasons together. And let us be reminded that 2026 is waiting for us to save our people more better than now. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion.
Thank you, Honourable Member for North New Georgia. Let me give this opportunity to Honourable Member for East Koyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the alarm flow, for me to add my voice to the Sine-Die motion that moved by the Honourable Prime Minister, and it reads that at the adjournment of Parliament on Wednesday, 17 December 25, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. First of all, Mr. Speaker, let me thank you, we thank all of you, for amending a relevant section because of my situation. The relevant section in the standing order of the National Parliament for me to sit down and to add the voice of East Koyo people to the Sine-Die motion in this Parliament House. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Prime Minister who is navigating the dinner for the country of Solomon Islands. We believe him. There are challenges, there are rough seas, but Captain Osipia have steady no more. He continued to lead this country. So me thank you now, Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, sincerely I wish to register my thanks for you, the Speaker of the National Parliament, the Deputy Speaker, for sharing the meeting, and the Iwi Kasim Enblo, this one sitting. May I like to thank you, Loklak, your officers. Waktu wakaya, I'm tiring job ya, but kalau kayu baru willing na, you sit down there, go meeting finish, even night time to you go at no more. Me like to thank him, o kata officers of Parliament for the good work. The Parliamentary Standing Committee chairpersons, the Secretariat for their good work. You know, without them, all the bills here, and especially the PAC, the 2026 estimate by Mokampi for this Parliament. So they deserve my thanks. I'd like to thank him, the Minister of Finance, for tabling the bill in which you pass him now. You pass him bill here. Mr. Speaker, no good me miss him. The leaders of the church and those who are praying for this nation, and especially everyone sit down here. Me save every Sabbath and Sunday, a special prayer have over there for you me. I know, Mr. Speaker, Somaliland is a small country with a very small or tiny resource. But praise God, we are still going. Despite of whatever situation,
Him is still moving. Mr. Speaker, sir, we like to thank you to police officers that they provide security for Parliament during the course of time. You meet here. So me like thank you to the policeman for me. Sir, as we look towards him 2026, it is important for everyone for supporting 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. I believe for implementing it is important. Fundamental responsibility for you of the legislators for safeguarding public assets and entrusted the Solomon Islands government and to ensure the effective delivery of services across him 24 ministries below Yumi. Mr. Speaker, sir, we by addressing some are pressing issues that require attention and corrective actions. Deeply, I'm in trouble to witness certain individuals taking into upon themselves to damage public infrastructures. Me sorry to this one. Time we go to track. Me look him. Me no hear him. Me look him. Me sorry now. Savalayangan stand with him straight. Savol diki roti na. Savala tore mad lo holia. You pay $10 biwo kopas. Say, who na authorize you walaya? People where they were authorized, they are responsible. I'm saying no more. I'm not SID, through ministry for MID, but not even for Dickim Road. Utum elekan mad and sassy people. I'm wrong something, yeah? Anyone you have to do him, you stop with him this kind. I'm wrong, eh? People they were given the mandate. What is stay no more? Daughter Blumi go is that undercarriage spiritual, cultural market. Him come back now. I think last week. Him come back to call on me. Say, Daddy, and the kind writing no more inside. Bless work about here. And there is there. Mama idea go across, Mr. Speaker. What are rubbish writing? People put on waste matter too. No. Countable you mean need for take care. You mean need for look after. We are born here. We are to live in this country. And we are to die here. Look after good. Each belongs to us. Solomon Island belongs to you, belongs to me, belongs to everybody, belongs to the government, belongs to the people of this nation, not one man. Bear with me, Mr. Speaker. Proper authorities who doing okata waka stay no more. Okata hard work. They spend the money. The money comes from the budget program every year for that year. Hemi damage because of iminas polem imi selefa. Iminas polem imi selefa. Some people tend for the kena. Who not onam this one here? Who cares? No, this is your country. And I'm telling finish. Imi born here, Imi live inside, and Imi gonna die inside too. Look here. So me appeal to everyone in this nation, including me fellow politicians. Imi must support in budget where me will passing finish for 2026. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, me express my appreciation to our market vendors who are demonstrating resilience and hard working spirit by hustling daily for providing for their families and sell their products. These citizens demonstrate the hard-working character of a nation. Some are all mere, some are all man, some are good man. We got to try it now. For market, look at the parts of Honey. They are working hard. What to work hard here? To earn the living. And to contribute in a little way to the economy of this country. Some are trying for fishing camp, the rural area. Cutting copra. Venture into cocoa farming. They all try for living, and I praise them. Please accept my sincere thanks for your hard working. Sir, I believe you may already pass him 2026 estimate. Me wish for appeal to all public officers where I could take care and spend what the means so that you may achieve the recurrent budget and development budget in 2026. We'll have put one example here. No example, but through something local eyeball. In my living office, fun go to work no more. No sabe office, no. Light, water, I'm on no more. Man, inflating recurrent budget here. We must take care. Not the government only, not leaders only, even officers too. Take care. Yeah, take care. You live in office blow you, make sure fund blow you off. Comfortably off. Awesome. one for example too. Spending of spare parts. People not entitled to use the vehicle, yeah? They use the vehicle after hours for their own personal gain. Hey, that's wrong. Because those they entitled, them stop no, yeah? Of the extra service, fuel block money. No for you will run here and there. No more. But it's a performing boss. Something awesome. This country also metallic is ours. We need to care. We need to look after. Country believe me. Mr. Speaker, fundamental message me leko convey on seme of talim imi someone another just imi must exercise him proper stewardship. Of the public assets also have allocated low national budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we approach the Christmas season, Mr. Speaker, we like for sharing a brief reflection with him in December. If we celebrate this festival season in many ways, but me believe, and me essential for me reminding me, Lord, two important truths about the birth of Jesus Christ. First one, Jesus had been born to Virgin Mary on Christmas Day to save us from our sins. Jesus is a Savior. And number one. Number two is the presence of Jesus. Presence. Wherever you go, out of the country, inside of the country, where you stay, the presence of Jesus never leave you. And not about something, a truth about Jesus having born on Christmas. Last week when we come down here, we start Lord Hedson we come. Hey, we're looking one for a new truck and bang and post. And post a break and fall down. Man, how many celebrating the birth of Jesus now? It's not beer, it's not other things. What we need to know that Jesus had been born to Virgin Mary to save us from our sins and present with me wherever we go. The power and the presence of Jesus is with us. Thank you so much. Speakers, as we approach this Christmas season, we like to take this opportunity to extend my woman's wishes for a Merry Christmas, a prosperous New Year to the following districts, individuals, and groups. The Governor General and your wife and your good children, the Honorable Speaker, your children, your family. The Honorable Prime Minister, your good family, the Honorable Chief Justice, and your good family, the Deputy Speaker and your family, the Deputy Prime Minister and your good family, the Honorable Ministers and your families, the Honorable Leader of Opposition and your family, wife and children, the Honorable Leader of Independent and your family too, all Honorable Members of Parliament and their families, the Commissioner of Police and all ranks and files of the Royal Solomon Islands Police Force, not forgetting the prison service, the leaders of our churches and members or congregation of our churches, the professional premiers, professional assemblies members, and all professional government officials, to my beloved constituency or constituents of East Koyo, we like to express Longifala, my greatest gratitude for your understanding, patience, and collaborating spirit throughout this whole year 2025. We confident that we continue more no next year, no 2026. Me wishing me for everyone a blessed and Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2026. Voice bro you fanalo totoko palibenia lo sinde mosenia osemia no moti ustekam lo kona lo East Koyo. This is your voice. Yeah. So we also do, yeah. We want to contribute on the city motion. No good to for Jeremy, say we die now. We like it, yeah. That's why we talk here. Yeah. Your member of parliament is still alive. Yeah. Possibly we finish now, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, we thank you for this opportunity, for you want to give me for total respect. Me like to thank you, my dear wife, my children, for understanding Bulogata. But not supporting me. They sacrifice. For look at the people for me. I'm natural worker for me now, parliament member now. So I take them. No go to Mrs. Diana, only cry no don't do him. But I want to thank her. I'm helping me, my children. Their sacrifice with me to look after the people. Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me the opportunity for contribute on the Sine-Die motion, and I wish God's blessing to upon us or everyone. God bless us all. Thank you so much, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member for East Koyo. Honourable Minister for Fisheries.
Thank you for allowing me, and like thank you, MP for Central area for giving me the chance for raising or supporting the solemn motion of Sine-Die by the Honourable Prime Minister to adjourn this Honourable House for the year 2026. Mr. Speaker, as others have spoken, may stand up here just like for thank you, the Chamber. Mr. Speaker, the leadership of this Honourable Chamber. Yourself, the Speaker, the officials, who have tirelessly looking after all of us around this Chamber during the period below budget meeting in the Parliament session. So just to add, the voices that have been raised, we have already spoken. Also, Mr. Speaker, I may stand up here like for thanking the Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Prime Minister and the ministers and the honourable members of Parliament. Like for Mr. Speaker, the 12th Parliament is an interesting 12th Parliament. Leaders who have voted, people who will vote members of the 12th Parliament. It's very interesting. And we have 12 through past years. And we have experienced the political instability that the 12th Parliament have created. Interesting all along. And so, we thank you, all of us. We came in, we came in the same process. We voted in the same process, we came in the same process, and all of us are here. So, what we contributed one way or another in this Honourable Chamber House and belongs to the affairs of this nation and the people of this nation. The Speaker, like for Talim Nama, reflection of work a little bit of Parliament, like just sort of reiterating more, it's not easy to work with us members of Parliament in this Honourable House. I think the views, during our debate, differing perspective across the House, which is sometimes it's sort of more seen as a different view, but I think we thank him, all of us, and yourself for being so patient in controlling this chamber, and it may come to the end. Me like talk a little bit about Ministry of Fisheries, where me look after for the last 4, 5, 6 months. When I first given the responsibility, thank you, Honourable Prime Minister, I was told that the ministry had a little bit slack attendance law office. So, Mr. Speaker, I used my fist to deal with the ministry, to make sure that officers all come in at 8 o'clock. So we created worship. They also got one day, no matter, I'm going to create them another 2 days. So we have 3 days worship every morning. And Mival minister buys one instrument, and then a few chairs and the Bible. I did some work for the ministry, and I think the ministry now up and running, which is I'm happy with currently what the ministry is like now. So that's what. So in the ministry we have in my budget speech, something finished about the CBIT program, Mr. Speaker. CBIT program, like other speakers have already spoken, challenging what name we give for people of this nation. CBIT is one of them that we will make sure 2026 budget, it will radically reflecting people in the rural areas. In Mikaram, good lagoons, we have Marov lagoons, we have the parts of South Malaita, people going to a seaweed. And so we'll try and exhaust the program of the seaweed to go everywhere. Even in Chazol, Garden, and other islands of the so program of seaweed, by the strongly emphasis next year, by some reaching everybody. We like to talk about the Binahamba project, where Mithalam, it's a long-term story, long-term story. And thank you, this Honourable House, for the BINA program project. The $103 million went through the process. Thank you, Chairman Law PAC, for scrutinizing the budget, and it went through a process and passed. We will work tirelessly to make the BINA Harbour become a reality. We have the Korean group here now. I met them yesterday, and today we will have another meeting in the afternoon. And so, Mitalamotem, BINA Harbour, has done and done now. Thank you, Chairman, too, Honourable Lord, that constituency. Thank you for standing behind this project. We hope I go hold hello Christmas in Thailand people. We have the funds allocated. And so, all of us must work together. Thank you, Premier Lomalai, as well, for standing behind this project. The tilapia program we have here in Aroligo, and we'll try and expand it to other provinces as well, which is going good. The sea cucumber, mariculture is there as well. We will try and push this as well. Thank you, Chazol Province, for hosting one for the biggest one over there. And before Chazol, Northwest Chazol, thank you for. We have a big hatchery over there, so thank you for looking after the group. And we have the Noro electronic pot project. What a wonderful, very important house that we built, the Mitsubishi built, and it stored advanced digitalization, business monitoring, and the control surveillance, and the cash and document system that perhaps added valuable people was Safifis hide and also. It records every information over there now. So it's established in Noro, and so we will use it as a thing for monitoring mothership, doing fishing hide and also. It's there now. We have the pads. Me like what Thailand pads, a fish aggregate device. Members of Parliament, we supplement this project. Must go down the constituency for people issue for catching fish, and we have the program ongoing as well. Looking ahead of 2026, Mr. Speaker, say what the government continue law ministry, considering gains already made, moving from planning to implementation, strengthening partnership, ensuring tangible benefits. Priority will remain on progressing BINA Harbour, expanding aquaculture and mariculture, strengthening compliance system, and building institutional capacity. Mr. Speaker, me here like to acknowledge the hard work officers of the ministry. Ministry consists of building staff officers a little bit, and they work tirelessly. Every day I'll talk about putting up reports. Sometimes they say overnight, so we thank him, the PS and the executive management and the staff. The provinces, we have officers in the provincial provinces who have also supported Mival Tumas. And the resonance, industry partners and other development partners for the commitment throughout the year. This year, one wonderful year that is our ministry, gaining the non-profit money. We'll take about $300+ million for the government. And we want to do more. So, Mr. Speaker, this is why we like to thank him, the entire ministry and the other provinces for the work that we will stand up together for getting revenue blow country. We'd like to talk a little bit about the constituency. Mr. Speaker, say thank you, Minister of Agriculture, for highlighting the 1 million cocoa trees that Mima's grown. Mima's planting this one, 1 million cocoa trees. Me like to talk about him. The fans from the Facebook, they talked about Honourable Smokey. They talked about Honourable Smokey, one of a very corrupt person. Corrupt. Territory shipment, I'll talk about Honourable Smokey, him, steal him selling, or him selling territory shipment. So, me like what I'll mention with the fans from me on Facebook. If you want to know who is Honourable Smokey, please dig deeper. Dig deeper and find who is Smokey. You will know who is Smokey. I'm got one character and achieve things according to law. Achieve things according to law. So money leasing or public leasing income, you think that Honourable Smoke is a corrupt person, please. Law of this country, no law of assumption here. It's a law of evidence to prove a person wrong. I'm not law of the country. in the Lord for Samson. Wow, Smokey stand up here. Very proud person to stand up in public, please prove Smokey wrong. If there's an evidence of prove that he's wrong, please come up with evidence. Or shit on that corner, no use your finger, put it Facebook. Share. Active coward, maybe, Mr. Speaker, sir. Act to people who are not got a brain. Think about bad thing about a person. I want to come at a person and prove to me. So the Coca Triple constituency, we have spent the $6 million given to Yumi around this table. We have $6.8 million given to Yumi. We have a constituency, this is what we did. We sent the $2.5 million, go down to the village. Mr. Speaker, this is what we did. Maybe I'll go pay people who own him Coca and Copra. We paid people to actually do the work. See the problem, he must go take photo. He must take photo of who not doing work here. He must take him to dishes place. Arbitration Act, Mr. Speaker, sir. It's in the Act. And so whoever denied this one, you must go to court now. Must this fellow. We have all the evidence to prove that you take him and we should do work here. I hope this kind of program, in other constitutional here, we have a different programs. But please, let's see our people in a more closer way. Help them. People tell them to doing things. What people tell them to do. I believe our programs and more or less may be in a different nature. But people believe our priority that he must look after Okata. So the constituency this year, I don't know what happened. It will go down for 3 years. $2.something million go down the constituency now. And part of it go over to $1 million. Me travel plado until a bit kama. There's another me like if I finish parliament. Therefore $1 million, $2 million. Me quarters me must plant. It must be done now. And this one, if head of me, I'm not going to evidence speaker say. Sometimes me attend me go local bush no. So please, people, if a listen come, people want the constituency. There will be a program, chess program, to be end of there. Catholic Garam Jubilee Law Abu, and all the Catholic around Polkanal will attend there. We wish you all a good luck. This program. Every time for Christmas or some other style, last time we talk about some Italian just die. Okay, so people might challenge me that kind of a statement. I stand by my statement. I stand by my statement. Uphold it. Also. Thank you, leader of opposition. He believed in what I've said. So starting with Bible first time, then we condemn a person in terms of Takasta Rosa. Starting with Bible first time, maybe go school of theology. I'm standing good. But I stand by my statement. Anyway, Catholic may be contrary to evil. Archbishop, I have go down to law for this program. I will attend as well. And other churches may think we'll have a bigger program as well. We're taking big on by blessing the constituency. And the program that we will constituency garden. We will try to improve constituency. I'm a little bit hard because of hard part of the other side. You energy used, Mr. Speaker said. Every moment is energy used. And so, that's a village, that's a home. We will die and buried there. And that's our place. We claim humble Mifal now. Anyway, constituency, we wish you all God's blessing through the festive season. Christmas and New Year, we will go through, and I hope you will do with some sense of approach how we do things. Beer could be something that always destroy me. Please look after not only my constituency, but country as an entire whole. Mr. Speaker, me, like as a parliament, I joined Sine-Die 2025. I believe the budget for 2026 budget, it's been criticized. People on the other side think that this budget is not really something by people. No more. This budget is a little bit higher than the previous budget, $5 billion. And so me think, Mitali Minister of Finance, come on, let's create some changes in here. You're not doing routine. Routine, I'm not go people even do maintain no man. I address and embrace the imi boroboroshin. Let him go alone himself and let them learn the country must free how he do things, how country him run in country. Him not subject to some kind of he must do this, but me give with this one. Long time come now. Long time come system here. It will change it. And so we have with the current budget, we will try and implement Osemtalem. We'll try and secure the 200 million by January, February, and by implementing the development budget, believe me. We like him send me rest by other speakers who tell about let's reduce the selling way if you're looking at the book share, but look big two book never equal it. The recurrent and the budget. Just look at here. These books never match. One for thick, one for what? Very thin. And thick book and them can start slim. Thin people grow country and very, very, very thin. So this kind of thing, yeah, Mr. Speaker, we agree with some rest by Iskoya, Tablum Liskoya. Change sa away, light no more, water no more, bilia, power no more. Something aid on to me for a long time. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, say I think me talk a little bit low budget, but I think me support him the 2026 budget by any person with his honorable house. Yeah, and so me finish the speaker, but I think me thank you for you may come. I thank you for you me together here. All of this year we have faced also we faced with a lot of in terms of the political instability. Or something when me really it's a different type of a parliament. They got a four-fold intention come up now. And me thank him those very much people who actually mentioned this and managed to get through it. This country we will live, we will die, and we will bury here Somalians. If you from our country, you will live, die, and bury here in Somalians. So me wishing more God's blessing. All of us will come safely. Let's work together. Let's work together. Me like expression here, the bipartisan program, conventions are just conventions. Me must tell them. Conventions are just conventions. Come on. Let's run this country as a true parliament. That the man said me like leukemia. We need a branch on the other side to come and something this government. We need all of us. So let's change the way we approach things. I'm tired of listening here in convention. A lot of white man this morning. One vision about a white man. Come on, let's blend ourselves and see how we can grow this country. Mr. Speaker said, we brought up in this whole motion of Sine-Die, and we thank him. All of us, may God bless him. Now we say thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Fisheries. Let me give the floor to Chairman Public Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Sir. Sir, I did not regret missing the 3 chances, as I stood but was missed out on your call because I had to hear from the Minister of Fisheries. A very excellent presentation that he has given. So it's a real honor and privilege to contribute to this motion. Yeah? Prime Minister, thank you for this motion, a homely motion, a motion that we cannot pretend about it because we have to talk, very real about our country, what we have done, that national responsibility that is given to us. So yesterday, as I made a little bit, no good little bit yesterday, so we sit down in normal house and we had a camp, I was so encouraged. And I want to commend those who have contributed so eloquently yesterday. And there was one message that me picked him up. And it is a message that challenged all of us that, we need to embrace him now. Ourselves, the national responsibility that we have been bestowed, to play our role, to focus on, the common good block country below you. And that was a message that I got yesterday. And I was so pleased about it. Even the 3 speakers that have just spoke now spoke about that too. So I think this is a very challenging time for you, me. That Prime Minister, you have challenged us and the whole country too. That we all must rise up, to in a little space that we have, to contribute towards the nationhood, statehood building, nationhood building. These are 2 different concepts altogether. But I think we can all contribute towards nationhood in whatever role that we have. But for those of us here, it's the state responsibility that we have, because we are placed in these state institutions, to perform our responsibility. So I want to begin by just saying that, with the responsibility that is given to me to look after the Public Accounts Committee, this year has been a very, very enriching year for the Public Accounts Committee, with the challenges that is given to us to scrutinizing both the supplementary and even the appropriation of the Supplier Act that is now been passed. We really thoroughly enjoyed that responsibility. I want to thank those that have supported the PAC, the parliamentary team, the committee secretariat, and also with support that have come from the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. That partnership, I think, works very well together with the support from the United Nations Development Program, and I want to thank both yourself and the Speaker, for the support that you have continued to show in anchoring, this very, very important mission. As you know, budget capacity, Law Pacific region is very thin here, and therefore sometimes, when they look at, the way that, we put a budget in most countries in the Pacific, but I think in Solomon Islands we, in some ways, say passing, some of those situations that other countries have. Because these countries in the region have actually learned from Yumilo here, and we need to really encourage him or the team Yumilo here to Parliament. And that is why I think a lot of people have been very passionate about, the reform that we need to do to our Parliament, building up the capacity in Parliament, improving the scheme of service, and eventually leading towards, our Parliament given that autonomy like that, to be able to exist as an independent, autonomous institution as part of the executive government Blayumi, like that. So the PAC have worked so hard, and I want to thank all the members of the Public Accounts Committee who have been very, very committed in their responsibility to do their role in the committee stage. Also, I just want to say, Osem Noma, that of course, in performing our duty, like what say Osem Tulo, government, give you a little bit time too. If you can give us the time, I'm sure that all of us will have better quality outcome from the roles that we have. But that's the democracy that we have, And the beauty about our democracy is this, and then one thing that me pick him out from democracy is this, that even though you have, the whole principle of majority must rule, but you cannot stop the minority to hold you accountable. The role of the minority, to be able to scrutinize and exercise their responsibility to hold those of you with the majority, to rule there. They must remain. So that is the beauty of our democracy. You cannot have that in any system, only in democracy. So let us have that. Minister of Fisheries said, look, we need all, ideas. That's true. And that is one thing good about democracy too. Democracy is always giving a space for great ideas for him must emerge, must come out. So, because that is what it is all about, contestation of ideas, and great ideas must always prevail. So, no matter you have little numbers here, but suppose what ideas come out good, pick them, pick those ideas. That's the beauty of our democracy. So that's on the front long or side long Public Accounts Committee. I want to join all others too, other chairmen of select committees, that you must resource him now, the workload of select committee. Because if the select committee don't do their job, not rubbish number coming chat lawyer, but the quality they come in chat lawyer, but by me low 2 years. So resource him now, ComSec. As you know that they have tried their best to bid for better resources, to bring in now workable select committee right throughout the country, bills and legislation, what others here, foreign relations need more time, you know, to look into all the treaties and conventions that you got in there. Please resource him no more, because this is the highest accountable institution of land blue. Beyond this, no more the parliament no more. So please, him no more. A little bit more plea for supporting no more what has been well presented to you by other chairmen. I think the work of the select committee need to be given. 2026 appropriation of the supply bill has just gone past. I think it's a very excellent one for us to, you know, push away, you know, through 2026. Like others have said, you know, that we have voted in support of a budget, whatever gap that it has, given the kind of construction of data that may come, we can say it is in some way truncated, but let's work with whatever that is given to us. So let's face the challenge of 2026 with this budget. Let's work with it. I know that the Minister of Finance and Planning and Prime Minister, you will put some priority in ensuring that we start off 2026. I think in a challenging situation like that, it's all about putting the resources together and then you may move forward. I know you all have that plan. It's quite pleasing to note at the PAC, you know, the new thinking in the planning department too. I think the new thinking in the planning department has come out, you know, very, very outstanding in our PAC. Let's get that, you know, planning bill for MICAM. Let's work towards next year. You may not only appropriating no more recurrent for feeding development. Let us appropriating both of them now. Recurrent and development expenditures here inside the appropriation now. Together, one time 33. One now call them special fund so that we don't have any problem in the way that we are going to look for resources and where it comes from. Because right now we have to wait for the recurrent for feeding development budget. And then time recurrent and no feeding come, you mean go more for donors not to feed him like that. So let's not wait for that. Let us come up one time that bill next year, and then you may appropriate him now, the development estimate, including even the special fund too. I still repeat my message. I really wanted to see that ministries must be fully equipped with qualified CPA now. Otaman we long time out work of here. Give them a good package and tell them, I think by go planting coconut or cocoa or same by me work out or cassava too, go planelo mivalo sape how to plant cassava. So that's I think what we need to do. Say. But the budget as it is, you know how me look lo him. I mean with that gap him lo there, him showing two things no more. The demand side of the economy is still having that exerted pressure. And the one that is willing that pressure, government, not so much from private consumers, because you may run that real income and go down. So it is all willed from government demand for more expenditure. Supply side of the economy is weak. What am supplying the economy? What am supplying now that was taxable revenue here we am coming inside here. So the taxable capacity and remain the same. The demand for expenditure is very big. So why we continue to see that hole there? Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, I think let us end in 2026 for Garem now deficit. 2 years in a row in a deficit, I think that is enough. Let's do something seriously 2026. But 27 and 2028, we can speak, very confidently. We have a healthy fiscal situation on Solomon Islands. So I still think that, one day, where the demand pressure for government expenditure and continue for grow big, and then supply side where investment and all of that and should supply now, income, employment and tax, taxable capacity inside the country and still very slow. I think, something can be done to really change that situation. Fundamentally, the structural situation in the country where we go through this time. But my plea to all of you is that let us stop that deficit of next year. 2 years in a row in an economy like Yumi, enough night. Yumi try to look at something that can really challenge Yumi to move forward. We need new investors to come, low tourism, low fisheries and so forth. Everyone spoke very well what now the prospect for next year. Minister of Fisheries just spoke very well about it today. Low side law, what now? Seaweed here, but Minister, last year you budget for 7 million, only 2 million you spend in. So I think balance belong what others are doing. I think all level, or maybe come out from constituency. Let's hope that next year things can be improved, and then better prospect can emerge along 2026 or so. We need more investment. That's what we should be talking about. So that, over time, in the next 2 years, the supply side of the economy can really match now the demand side. So time you talk about the demand side phenomenon, government now the greatest driver of the demand side. Government budget So that's the situation that you got this time. But let's hope that there are other things that have opportunities for me to go out and look for some funding. Minister of Finance is very much geared up, to be able to do that. Thank you, Minister. Keep those positive thinking. At the back of your mind too, you must think into or money or sabi too our credit worthiness too. So do first thing first, fix our backyard, cleaning up good before you go out. In the meantime, I think where our donors have support and confidence in Yumi, I think there are modalities where donors actually have a lot of trust for Yumi. One, the provincial government, one PCD, PCD one some years ago, Yumi established Yumi. I think it's one that has actually grown to actually gain in confidence with the donors. And most fundings are going through there too. Interestingly, even climate change funding are going through them instead of environment. So environment, you try to look at model blog there. I think they are doing very well. We have model agriculture that is coming up. I think we need to encourage all of that to happen. Growth is what should be in our thinking. How do we grow our economy? Thinking Lumi, we have to go by innovative growth now. That's the narrative that we should be talking about. Innovative growth. Neoclassical thinkers will always tell you the difference along what now the foundational thinkers. Why now? Growth, well, small space lo land no more, but growth can happen. That's innovation. Technology. Fertilizers have come in. So no matter how many years they have been farming the same land area no more, but them continue to improve because of innovation. So I think we should be thinking and talking innovative growth. So, Mr. Speaker, like you Mr. sharing before here, Samal Department I think you need for readjusting or Chamal too. Somehow the Ministry of Commerce here or Minister of Commerce there, you take a more internal affairs now. Yeah, you better turn yourself into Ministry of Commerce, Technology, Innovation, or something was saying, so that it drives new thinking. Opening up new opportunities somewhere. Emna kain tinting ating im sudaren. O chamala oda administrative traditional institutions that im garam lo you take mo kitum golong sambe banole mo ta sambe. Let's think more innovative now. We need a new Ministry of Technology, Innovation, or something kind of thing now. And I think you will be in a better position to lead it, Minister. Prime Minister, that's just something no more to think about. Because, you know, as we approach 2028, we have to show some, headway, I must say. How not country by we have countries, our neighbors, that have celebrated 50 years of sovereign independence, but are facing a lot of challenge. I think, we can, in some ways, got ourselves on a better ground than what now you may see as the experience in our neighbors say. So we need, the narratives of innovative growth, and now what you may need to do. So we need to choose the right pathway. Yesterday I had others spoke about, me quite agree too, maybe sometimes, living in some mineral layer, so if it is not doing us good, instead of we pushing level into it, and then we will end up somewhere down, the pit. I think we stop a little bit, yeah? I think we all reminded ourselves of this resource scarce syndrome. Yeah, these are all well theorized, I must say. The whole theory of Dutch disease, where basically, it wasn't well prepared. It created, sudden demand changes in the economy, and eventually, when resources got depleted, they were down. Emotion. I want you to read this book, The Bottom Billion, Emotion. And it's a clear description of what has actually happened in all the resource-rich countries, Emotion. Very much endowed with natural resources, eventually found themselves down the pit, Emotion. Below now, the bottom, Emotion. So let us be reminded. But if we chose to go down and aggressively push for the pathway along extractive industry, I think we need to anchor it on some better international regulatory arrangement. So the minister's idea that Prime Minister, I thank you, both of you, Prime Minister and Minister, for us to get ourselves affiliated back into EITI, I think that's a way to go. Our donor partners are willing to really come forward and then help him. System law Australia is different. They have gone aggressively into extractive, because of geopolitics too. Not entirely because of that, but I think that's basically how they have been developing, and so far they've done it very well. You need to little bit take a pause no more. I think it would be to take a pause and then let's assess it, possibly the first half of next year. How are we going? And I'm sure that you have a very able Minister of Mines, Minerals, that have already been thinking about this. Just a reminder no more of that one no more. Resource scarce syndrome. Please let us not allow ourselves to fall into that situation. So, in my view, I think what we need to do is to take some drastic decision, even if we have to make it. These are decisions that we have to take it responsibly. Others made some example yesterday. I think East Harare and Chairman Blow was quite true about that, in South America. And also Bhutan too, this country, Bhutan. Yeah, I remember their own Prime Minister told me once, said that, look, we have mineral, but we've decided not to develop it. There were interests that came in, but said, our motto at that time was national happiness. not a national one growth or one national GDP, gross national GDP, but gross national happiness. That's what drives them. So that's what the Prime Minister of Bhutan told me once, and that was the time when because I met him at the EIT meeting in Sydney, and then he told me about that too. So that was it. I do hope that we need to look into options of some of these countries that have gone down that path. One challenging thing that is now before us is this whole drive towards federalism. That's something that we have to face with, and we have to make that decision head on before we turn 50. That federalism project here. Recently, we had this meeting lawyer about the cost-benefit analysis, looking at all modeling that may come with that whole thing, and we basically said to them that I think in my own thinking is this, sir, that Samhala province Bloyumia, economic modeling now the way to him, they've already passed the resolution to go down the path of federalism. And then if we go for economic modeling, some of these regions may have a very, very relatively very thin scale economy. So applying some model where done by others on a bigger scale, planting a very thinly layered economy might not work. Might not work. So that's why we have to drive investments along every region. It is incumbent upon all of us leaders to think like that. What can happen in every region? That's one way to do it. Yeah, one way for doing it that way. The other way of doing it is maybe for you to put together a national team or challenging all the provinces themselves and say, look, what can work in terms of investment in the region? So, Prime Minister, I know that you've been thinking about this. Let us look at how we can deal with it. But I think that's the first and very, very fundamental thing that you may have to do. How can we build that economy for other regions here before we can apply any economic modeling to them like that? So that's on some of the national issues. Me like come back to one issue that I'm touching now, constituency youth and development. Share this youth issue here. If somehow we don't, monitor the way that have been developed, it will take us in a different twist altogether with the kind of challenge that my country are facing. Look at the situation of Bondi. This is a different thing altogether. You're talking about certain people that have been around from their youthhood or the development, this kind of a thinking. Anti-Semitism that over time has go. These people have just taken the actions, upon themselves, to cause the kind of senseless, violence, against communities. And in particular, in this particular case here, a selection of a choice of an events. So on that note too, say, hey, me, you may want to, you may man, thinking Australia was a country of what now you may say a partner of choice here. I want to convey my condolences to all the people of Sydney, in particular the Jewish community, for what happened there. Absolutely senseless violence against those communities. But a sorry story, I must say. country of partner of choice Yumi, but I'm still got him now, this kind elements inside the society. But our thoughts goes to them. They are our friends. Or the first responders and those that have faced the challenge, in the first instance, thoughts goes to them too. And in particular, on behalf of people of Central Honiara, and most of them are also finding opportunities there too. I want to convey our condolences, to the people of Australia in particular. This big, greatest city in Australia, Sydney, and this very popular beach, Bondi. I think if all everyone go casino there, me man, so go casino there too. Minister Blow held last time, I'm just go casino there no more. So I'm thinking good now that place to you. Say. So these on youth, say. And I tell you, I'll come back to what now I'm capturing the situation and the attention of youth here Honiara. Mr. Speaker said, into all Honiara here, on the West Honiara, I'm go outside here. I'm outside. The drug situation, long Honiara is a terrible thing. And I've already declared Central Honiara is drug-free. And I want to inform this House, we are printing posters to be pasted right around the whole boundary of Honiara now. You firms or hotel or whoever where you host him or the money will come to you. And we'll find ways how you can be prosecuted. And we are going to go to the Ministry of Health and Police for helping me for side long putting out the promotion, posters and also to all the communities now. It has to be a zero tolerance. So, Mr. Speaker, those of us here in Honiara, and I want to appeal to the Prime Minister, please you help him now, Central Honiara, so that, we can find way. I thought that, we have already come up with the amendment, that short amendment, so that, what is it, imposing penalty or something on that drug here, that small amendment. I'm sure that Prime Minister, you will inform us, because this thing is now going very, very, deep in the bread of it, within our society is just so terrible now, emotion. We got to deal with it, emotion. They're even using drugs to go and buy gold too, man. Emotion. That's what I'm hearing, emotion. Using drugs to go and buy gold. Emotion. Hey, what look at that? Why, Minister, go out more. Can you quickly look into this, Minister of Police? We need to attend to this, what's going on. If this thing, you control him, I tell you that our youth are going to turn against us, turn against the situation, the whole environment. Let us not have that to happen, sir. That is why we have recommended in our report that we give some resources to the Ministry of Youth. Let's look at possibility of some, mid-term review or quarterly review next year on our resources, our fiscal situation, and then you may give him support for that. But we did recommend, I'm sure Prime Minister, you will be able to tell us the idea of this national summit here, so that we can bring, in particular, the youth, the children, and other issues, together. And then from there, we can raise the kind of a situation and platform for you to foment him, kind of a national approach going forward. And it will have to be a multifaceted kind of approach. Education, health, policing, and other opportunities too. Of course, there are resourcing in agriculture and other areas, gearing towards youth. But we all know sometimes, all of these are set with certain criteria. I think what we need to have is that something that will build a bigger, a wholesome kind of an approach for youth capacity building. So, I want to thank you too for Prime Minister. I really want to thank you and the Minister for supporting the National Youth Center. This is a drive that we have driven from the Eben, Lohia Law Center, because you said the concentration of youth and the level of their engagement. So why don't we have this National Center here with, a more well-developed kind of a program, enterprising, to better upskilling educations and so forth. Minister just tell him normal that order would him now contract for the design. I think I will talk to the HCC for order and give him no space. Speaker, you help me too. Make me talk about the HCC. Make me no rao and then into all. This is good for the youth, and I hope that the mayor is listening right now for our youth for tomorrow, the citizens of tomorrow. That's how I just want to anchor my support on this motion, and try for gearing me up for a more forward-looking, and a better thinking, for 2026. The last thing, me like for talk about is the situation with Milo Eben. I'm quite pleased with what we have given, for infrastructure development and support, Lo Eben Center, or the other amenities like Lo Health, Tuval clinics will be renovated, and other improvements, Lo here, Lo Eben Center. I think the concentration of the population, Lo Eben Center, I think that is a reality. Me like to little bit talk about normal land. Minister, you try to look around normal Honiara land. I'm sure you will find it that land Honiara, in some ways, start from Henderson, go Kasim Lowai Triba, and in the hands of one or just one entity. You try to look into it. The FTEs are just in one person no more, or just for one entity no more. You may run, you may sit down, and then forget him now or something. Let's do a little bit of research no more and find him. Where does the concentration of this high valued, assets of our country him vested lo him? Vested by who? You mistake too. And you'll find it will be really shocking for you, Minister. Just giving no more an example no more. You start from Henderson no more, you look at other places here, with the former LSL, but you look him no more with the people here. Come, Kasim, even Central CBD Blue Milo here, you will see. We are not jealous about them, but this is where the concentration of power, Launch Villa Eben Center, Minister, little bit research into it no more. This is why I've always talk about this capital gain here. Because the main gist law, taxation law country on income, it is not on capital gain. So you try to look into how we can. Minister of Finance, I think you need to think around in this one here too. But the fact that the concentration below these assets here, very, very high valued asset below country. I mean, if you look at the high valued assets below country, you won't find it along with other provinces here. Possibly Longo, Noro, and Osemia, but it is here, concentrated here, in the form of real property or the real estate. And by you finding, this is quite a very, very. You ngolo tonga, baba you looking at these things you have invested the state here, or even the Fiji, they're very strict about it too. So loya hemna even start Tanawatu to come down to you. Then go Kasem Nalo, White River. So just do a little bit of research on that one, you know. And I know that, you know, you have always been, you know, thinking about this. Let's make some positive thinking how we are going to see fairness to our people. Lastly, say, on a note for this motion here, it's also about Onyara, how we treated the Tandai people. Ini gorau wanda modlo pongulai. Then you may come, you may know, think about all the situation lo here lo Onyara. Remember for East Churchill spoken about, you know, it's a kind of a restitution, a kind of a policy approach to land law here, which is quite true. Yeah, I think this is a very best example of a situation that, you know, we can institutionalize it. Why can't the government sponsor him now? Zero trust board people of Tandai and give them some respect. They deserve that respect. I don't think it's fair for them to push themselves into it. They have been telling us. But if government had taken the responsibility to show that, I'm sure that, you know, the people of Tandai, you know, will have, and even the broader Gorakanal and the related associated tribes that are associated with the various regions along Guadalcanal will be really pleased with that, Minister. So bring that forward, You want me to do him development lo Mamara? And started lo Samfal lo Mifal too in the past. We failed on that. But I think, you know, there is a way for you to rebuild that again. You mean allow more the man to come borom selen lo here then. Take him come out of material and no more can be built him no more out of 2-inch post house here. Man will walk about low on top by house here and the dance was too. And then we ended up giving them millions. When in the first place, you know, we don't even know how much money they actually repatriated out of the country to buy those materials coming inside. That is the first line of consideration that we should have here. Then we turn around and give them man, you will know. So, say, let's think about this trust. Build him up. Give it to them. And in that regard, I pay my respect to past, present, and the future generations of Tandai people. Because Honiara will continue to be here, so we need to deal with them. And in the same way that we deal with them, that will set a good example for what other parts of the country blame. The SEZ that you may talk about here. That will set the right foundation for us to deal with the SEZ situation too. So, I mean, I just want to end my note no more with that situation, no more Tandai. But let me come back to my original message. I was quite pleased with all the calls that and very eloquently, you know, presented call from all of you since yesterday, and today. Let us embrace our country. Of course, it's going to be a very challenging year next year. Tuval message no more, me leave him know that 1 year. Manage our fiscal situation going forward. Put in resources for the first 5-6 months, then he may go forward. But this is the nature of a country that he demand driven, demand side of the economy and drive him now wider the gap here. So the thing about the supply side, but in the meantime, no stop to take a challenge from planning, health, education, and all everyone here for whichever to build other opportunities, other areas. But money, 12 Parliament, you need to think about what not you mean now, but by you mean doing. So that future generation by MCA, 12 Parliament has done this investment. Yeah? Because suppose you talk about SIPL, hem block lo 70. You talk about Solomon Tuna, Tayo before, block lo 72. And so forth. That is earning income for our country. So, blue you mean you should think about. I like the message from East Goa Canal and Minister of Fisheries that you need him stability. I don't think 12 Parliament are creating instability, Prime Minister. And he knows that we're all correct him. It's not the 12 Parliament that created the instability. 12 Parliament, I think, is a very it's a very fluid Parliament. But for him to say 12 Parliament are creating no more. But Jinat, congratulations. Let us look forward to 2026. On behalf of the people of Central Honiara, Speaker, to you and members of your team, the Yellow Parliament, Prime Minister and members of the Cabinet, Leader of Opposition, Leader of Independent, me, lo independent, lo yanoma, so it's such a privilege to share the front bench with the three wisest men from the East here. Yeah, East Arare, East Choiseul, and East Malaita. And then right at my back, East Honiara too. No, my should be trivial, no, my should not be for vice man, but I'm right now. Yeah. I want to say that let us all come to our responsibility, and that is Solomon Islands best. And let us all embrace this country, that God is our Almighty. And He is so powerful, sweet, and He does great things. So 2026 will be a great thing for our country. With those remarks said, I support the motion and resume simply. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Central Honiara. Let me give the floor to Honourable Member for South Choiseul.
Thank you, Speaker, for granting me the opportunity to contribute as well to the Sine-Die motion put forward by the Prime Minister, which says that at the end of the adjournment of the Parliament on Wednesday, 17 December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall stay adjourned Sine-Die. Speaker, at the outset, I wish to acknowledge your leadership in presiding over the deliberation before this Honourable House with fairness and firmness. And I want to extend also my appreciation to your hardworking clerk and his staff for their professionalism, impartiality, advice, and your tireless effort to ensure that the orderly and effective conduct of Parliament business is conducted. Mr. Speaker, as the Minister responsible for Education and Human Resource Development, I want to place my sincere appreciation on my senior leadership or management team including my permanent secretary, the senior management team, the heads of division, managers, and all the staff of my ministry, the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, for their dedication and strong work commitment throughout this year, 2025. This year has required a careful balance between reform and continuity, ambitions and fiscal discipline. Despite these pressures, the ministry has remained focused on strengthening quality, standards, and accountability across the entire education system throughout our country. Speaker, I also want to extend this appreciation to our education providers, school boards, church agencies, and private providers whose partnership with government remains vital. Above all, Mr. Speaker, I want to pay tribute to our teachers, our school leaders, who often work tirelessly under difficult situations or conditions. Their professionalism, resilience, and dedications remain the indispensable backbone of our education system. And finally, to our students, the children and young people of our nation, you remain at the center of our policies. Your learning, safety, and future opportunities guide every decision taken by this ministry. Mr. Speaker, education is not merely a social service, but it is the most strategic national investment that we can make. In an era which is defined by rapid technology changes and the global competition, the quality of our human capital will determine our economic resilience and the long-term prosperity. Solomon Islands cannot rely indefinitely on natural resources. Sustainable development demands a skilled, disciplined, and a positive workforce. This government is ensuring that education equips individuals with knowledge, skills, and values that is required to participate meaningfully in our society. Through curriculum reform, strengthen teacher standards, and improve assessment systems, we are cultivating learners who can think critically, adapt to change, and transition successfully into employment. We are also prioritizing reform in technical and vocational education and training to align education pathways that will be directly influence or impact with our labor market needs. Mr. Speaker, these are deliberate investments which are aimed at transforming our youthful population into a demographic dividend, reducing unemployment, strengthening productivity, and securing our nation's future. Mr. Speaker, our commitment to quality, and this is the focus of my reform, or our reform, must be measured by our outcomes. And this requires a clear vision of what a modern Solomon Island graduate should be. And this, as such, a graduate must be resilient and practical. And they must be able to analyze problems calmly, manage personal finances responsibly, and contribute meaningfully to family and community life. They must be technological proficients, using digital tools with confidence, thinking critically, and communicating clearly in an increasingly connected world. They must be economically prepared, equipped with the skills and the mindset to earn a livelihood in a changing economy, to adopt, innovate, and remain productive. Above all, Mr. Speaker, they must be grounded in values, anchored in Solomon Island culture, respectful of our democratic institution, and committed to civic responsibility and national development. Mr. Speaker, preparing a child for the future requires long-term vision, policy consistency, and disciplined implementation. Education reform delivers lasting impact only when sustained beyond political cycles. And this, Mr. Speaker, is a shared responsibility and a way forward as we journey on in our coming years. We recognize that education is a shared responsibility. While the state provides leadership, regulations, finances, parents, families, communities, and education providers all have an essential role to play in the process. Strong partnerships are not optional, but they are fundamental to student success. Looking ahead, Mr. Speaker, the government remains committed to teacher development, improved learning environments, inclusive access, strengthened oversights, value for money transparency, and measurable results will remain central to our approach. Mr. Speaker, I speak with complete frankness. The finance of our education is among the most demanding and a politically sensitive responsibility of our government. It is disappointing to hear arguments that advances in this House that disregard fiscal realities and rely on slogans rather than solutions. Let me put this record clear and straight that successive governments have consistently prioritized education, with expenditure frequently exceeding international benchmarks. And these are facts. What I will not accept is the perpetuation of the myth of completely free education. That narrative is economically dishonest. The former fee-free basic education policy was unsustainable. Persisting with it will have bankrupt schools, erode standards, and destabilize the entire system. The government chose responsibility over popularism. The truth is simple, Mr. Speaker, that education has real and unavoidable costs. Accordingly, under the authority granted by the Education Act 2023, I have already exercised my power to regulate school fees decisively. Regulations protect families. Failure to regulate invites disorder. I have issued a ministerial order setting maximum tuition fees, which are as follows, which I'd like to share with this House, that for non-boarding schools, for primary in urban schools, they charge the maximum of $1,200, while non-urban, they charge the maximum fee of $250. Junior secondary, for urban, they charge the maximum of $2,000, while non-urban, they charge $800 maximum. While our senior secondary urban schools should charge up to the maximum of $4,000 for urban schools, and non-urban schools is $3,000. These are non-boarding schools. While for boarding schools, for junior secondary, urban, they should charge the maximum of $4,500, while non-urban schools, for boarding schools, should charge the maximum of $2,800, while senior secondary urban schools, the maximum should charge is not beyond $9,000, while non-urban schools is $7,200. These figures, Mr. Speaker, represent the absolute maximum permitted by law. Any school charging beyond these limits is in direct contravention of the ministerial order, and this government will not shield offenders. Furthermore, schools are strictly prohibited from charging registration, transfers, or examination fee. No child should be excluded from education due to temporary financial hardships. Compliance with the law is not optional. Parents and guardians are encouraged to report breaches directly to the Permanent Secretary of my ministry. The Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development officials are instructed to act immediately and will have my full political backing. My ministry, Mr. Speaker, has also have a plan to review the grants that are provided to schools and education providers. And this is in response to the prevailing circumstances, including rising costs and inflation, and the overarching need to ensure that grants funding is adequately to support the smooth and effective operation of our schools. Mr. Speaker, this government's commitment to teachers is unequivocal, as demonstrated by our decision to implement the salary releveling with the back pay across early childhood, primary, secondary, rural training centers, and TVET institutions, backdated to January 2024 and scheduled for a payment in the first quarter of 2026, and by the concrete action taken on 11th December this year, when 883 early childhood teachers were paid under the new teacher classification and salary structure, which I would like to thank the Minister for Finance and the Ministry of Finance for allocating the funds to make sure that our ECE teachers get the new level instructor on the 11th, which is last week. Education teachers were paid under the new teachers classification and salary structures. Thereby, we are honoring the agreement between SINTA and the Solomon Island government through the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development. Mr. Speaker, now I'd like to turn to my good people of South Georgia constituency. Firstly, I wish to thank my good people of South Georgia for all your continued support, patience, and the cooperation throughout the year. I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our chiefs, our village elders, for your wisdom and guidance, to our church leaders, for your spiritual leadership and prayers, and to our good women leaders and women groups for your tireless commitment to make sure that our family and community are well looked after. And to our young people, our youth and youth groups at the constituency, thank you for your energy and your contribution into community development. And to our children, for whom there lies our hope for the future. Your understanding, encouragement, and the support mean a great deal and will strengthen our shared commitment to serve and to work together for the common good of our constituency. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I also wish to inform my good people that the continuation of our distribution of our implementation plan for this year, 2025, will continue into the festive season and into the next quarter of next year to make sure that our plans and our progress in implementing our programs is achieved according to what has been planned out for our constituency. With that, I wish to thank you again for your continued understanding and continued support and cooperation. I also would like to make a call also as well to my good people of my constituency, also to our Solomon Islands, the nation of Solomon Islands. As we celebrate the Christmas and the New Year season, I would like to encourage everyone to show respect for one another and to uphold peace and harmony in our various homes, villages, communities, and province, and even constituency. And let us celebrate responsibly with love and patience and understanding, and to avoid any actions or behaviors that may cause harm, disorder, and unnecessary during this festive season. I kindly urge all our people, especially our youth, to refrain from any unwanted activities that will sabotage the spirit of this festive season. Let us respect our laws, our leaders, and one another, and ensure that our celebrations reflect the true values of Christmas. As we enter this festive season, I wish you all God's blessing and abundant blessing and a good health to you and your families. May the coming years be a prosperous one as we fulfill the new opportunities of our people and our commitment going forward. Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the leadership of our Prime Minister and the Cabinet for the collective decision throughout the year. I also recognize as well the Leader of Opposition and the members of the opposition and the leadership of our independent team, a group with the members across the House, for the scrutiny and the robust debate which are essential in accountability in a healthy democracy. While we differ in our views, we are united by a fundamental responsibility, and that is to serve the people of this great nation, Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to reaffirm the unwavering commitment to a quality, relevant, and inclusive education system, one that strengthens national development and builds our human capital. Let us ensure that the decisions that we make today lay a strong and lasting foundation for future generations of Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, I would like now to extend on behalf of my family and the people of South Jerusalem our warmest greetings and best wishes for happy, safe, and prosperous New Year celebration to everyone, including yourself, Mr. Speaker, and your family, the clerk, and your family, and the Parliament staff and the families, the Honourable Prime Minister and your family, the Governor General and his family, the Chief Justice and family, and all the constitutional post holders and their family. Not forgetting our donor partner, Mr. Speaker, who have supported the education space over this year, and we are looking forward for your continued support in 2026. And once for all, I wish all the people of our great nation, Solomon Islands, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Before I say it, I'm not forgetting the most important people. Also, I would like to wish the 50 members of this constituency who are sitting here in this house very special Christmas greetings to all of you and your families. May these festive seasons provide a time that you will reflect with your family and to celebrate on the true meaning of Christmas and its significance. As we look forward for 2026, let's renew with strength, wisdom, and commitment as we continue to serve our people and our nation together. May God continue to guide and bless our deliberation and bless our beloved Solomon Islands from shore to shore. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support the motion.
Thank you, Minister for Education and Human Resource Development. Okay, by making this opportunity, Law Minister for Commerce, Industry, Labour and Immigration.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to contribute to the traditional motion, Sine-Die, moved by the Prime Minister, the Honourable Jeremiah Manere. In doing so, may I first take this moment to acknowledge the transcendent of God's grace and mercifulness. So the humble birth of the life of Jesus Christ demonstrated God's immeasurable love and compassion for humanity, offering a free gift, grace and mercy to us rather than condemnation. Merry Christmas and joyous season greetings to you and your family, Mr. Speaker, sir. Sir, allow me to just briefly highlight key achievements and successful initiatives by my ministry as undertaken during the 2025 financial year. I intended to present this during my budget speech, but due to time constraint, I decided not to. But my officials, sir, requested and urged me to at least, present something through this motion, because others says that Angaman or do you anything no more. But of course, my ministry, sir, also contributed to providing services and development, particularly in the areas of private sector in our country. To begin, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Immigration Division plays a vital role in border security by ensuring legal entry and exit from the Solomon Islands in its implementation of the Immigration Act 2012 and delivering border protection services. The division successfully achieved the official launching of the electronic border management and online visa system on the 28th October 2025. The Solomon Islands took a significant step forward in modernizing its immigration services with the launch of the country's new digital border management system. The border management system is a major milestone in our journey towards a modern, efficient, and secure border management system for the Solomon Islands. Second, official launching of the Immigration Strategic Plan 2025 to 2035, 10 years plan. The strategic plan unpacks the ministry's vision for attaining immigration excellence into manageable, realistic, and measurable targets, and consolidates the ministry's response to the National Border Strategy and the National Security Strategy. Third, official launching of the immigration new website for online visa applications. The newly launched immigration website and online visa application system was put in place to modernize and improve the country's immigration and border management services. Its purpose encompasses several key goals to streamline and modernize visa application, enhance borders security and management, improve service delivery and transparency, and facilitate travel, tourism, investment, and businesses. And fourth, continued delivery of essential immigration services across sectors, foreign citizens, and international travelers, and the public at large. So, the Labour Division in the Solomon Islands plays a central role in regulating employment, protecting workers' rights, and promoting fair and productive labour relations in the country. Apart from delivering services under its roles and responsibility, the division in 2025 successfully expanded the apprenticeship training program, increasing enrollment by 185 students to a total of 285 apprentices. Most encouragingly, all 285 apprentices have been successfully placed across a range of industries. Second, successfully the survey was conducted across all provinces during the third quarter of 2025 on a minimum wage rate. Fixing of a legal minimum wage cannot be assumed, nor it cannot be estimated to be set at certain amount. Rather, it requires concrete information based on actual raw data and figures. Equally, setting an evidence-based minimum wage rate needs data on all employment undertaking around Solomon Islands. Following validation, the policy will be further strengthened by incorporating stakeholders' inputs gathered through provincial level consultations and socialization. This process will be carried out during the second quarter of 2026. So, under the value adding and downstream processing program, 35 micro, small and medium enterprises have received support out of the 50 approved applications. These support included equipment and capital investment using 99.9% of the total 2025 budget for this particular area. As a result, sir, these businesses have formalized, created job opportunities and encouraged skills development in areas like food processing and packaging, including seafood, filleting, feed mills, pineapple juice and meat processing, coconut and cocoa value addition, and a youth entrepreneurship innovation program. So in the infrastructure development program, the Kira Kira Cocoa Factory building is 95% completed. A few tasks remain, like plumbing, guttering, minor works, and sourcing equipment. Other infrastructure projects are also progressing well. Under the Economic Growth Centre program, progress has started on the Suava seaweed storage shed. The subdivision and survey work at the Economic Growth Centre project site is 90% complete. So, on a business and corporate division, achievements in this division included one, hosting and celebration of the Micro, Small, Medium International Day in June 2025, the hosting of the Solomon Islands National Business Forum in July 2025. They provided funding support of $5.5 million to Development Bank of Solomon Islands for the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Credit Line Facility for SMEs in the productive sector, and fourth, provide funding support of $1.5 million to Central Bank of Solomon Islands on Small and Medium Enterprise Loan Guarantee Scheme to support loan collaterals with DBSI and commercial banks. So while the ministry provides this funding support under the CBSI SME Credit Guarantee Scheme, it is important to point out and remind this House and the public that loan servicing performance of borrowers has been mixed, placing us at the wrong side of regional ranking. To reiterate CBSI Governor's concern, Solomon Islands is among the highest in the region in terms of loan default. The Governor, Dr. Forau, said we are seeing cases where people take loans and intentionally do not repay them. Some even open accounts in other banks and abandon their debts, allowing the National Provident Fund to take over recovery. This is not healthy for our financial system. So let me remind our good people, debt financing can be very useful when it is understood, disciplined, and aligned with clear business plans. Debt financing allows businesses and individuals to fund expansion or productive investments without giving up ownership or decision-making power. When used properly, debt imposes discipline on spending and project selection, ensuring funds are directed towards viable and productive activities. So, sir, debt must be productive, not consumptive. Borrow only for investments that generate economic and social returns greater than the cost of the debt. Using debt for consumption, recurrent expenses, creates long-term financial stress to families. So debt financing is therefore a powerful development and growth tool, not a problem in itself. The real issue is how, why, and for what purpose debt is used. Debt uses other people's money to build wealth. So when used wisely, it builds prosperity. Used poorly, it creates stagnation and poverty. So, sir, I just wish to remind our good people of this country to make sure that when they take on any loan from the bank, make sure that they properly manage it and use it wisely for the purpose of achieving their business objectives. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Foreign Investment Division has successfully launched the Investment Solomon website, providing a modern digital platform for investment promotion and information dissemination. The site improves global visibility, enhances investor access to regulatory requirements and opportunities, strengthens transparency, and supports the division's ongoing efforts towards improving service delivery and investment climate. Second, they have developed a long-term investment strategy which sets out a roadmap to make the Solomon Islands a preferred destination for foreign direct investment. Invest Solomons emphasizes key reforms on establishing special economic zones, strengthening investor protection, improving facilitation, and promoting high-value sectors such as tourism, fisheries, agribusiness, infrastructure, and renewable energy. Third, they have successfully advanced the Special Economic Zone initiative through the Parliament, resulting in the enactment of the Special Economic Zone Act 2025 earlier this year. We are now preparing to establish the Special Economic Zone Authority to implement and administer the provision of the Act. And fourth, the creation of the Investment Promotion Authority by amending the Foreign Investment Act 2005, now the Foreign Investment Bill 2025. This will be coming to this chamber probably early next year. Sir, the Company House so far had registered 667 companies, 2,511 business names, 465 charitable trusts so far. So, on the marketing and export promotion, they have achieved the following. They facilitated the first export of cover to Fiji, which created the cover pathway to Fiji, and it's been successful. They have supported export of mud crab to Singapore, making new emerging market linkages. They have also successfully led in developing the Solomon Islands national export policy. And fourth, the division played a key role in enabling the Solomon Islands to participate successfully in the World Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan, showcasing the theme "Welcome to Solomon Islands, the Happy Isles." Furthermore, it provided support to 3 private sector businesses for their involvement in the China International Port Expo. Additionally, the division successfully organized the annual National Trade Show for 2025, highlighting the country's trade initiatives. Under the copra and cocoa price subsidy activity or project, the division supported 2 exporters by price subsidy to pay for cocoa and coconut during the peak of high price of both commodities, so that they can compete with world market price for the boutique market and value addition to commodity. The division also provided grant support to SEMA. SEMA receives 12 million in this year to increase cocoa and export copra. A total combined copra and cocoa export domestic sale up to October 2025 as follows. Copra volume and sales 1,519 metric ton, valued at 12,860,000. On cocoa volume and sales, it's 280.5 metric ton, valued at 15.8 million. And the total combined value of copra and cocoa is $28.6 million. Sir, on e-commerce division, Mr. Speaker, sir, the year 25 marks a pivotal advance in our nation's digital journey. We are successfully moving beyond planning, translating the National E-commerce Strategy 2022 to 2027 into tangible results that support businesses, stimulate job creation, and ensure inclusive economic growth. A foundational achievement this year was establishing the e-commerce implementation unit in June 2025, a dedicated national secretariat proudly manned by Solomon Islanders. This unit strengthens our capacity to coordinate, drive, and monitor critical e-commerce reforms. We also made significant progress in dismantling the primary barrier to e-commerce growth, that is, logistics and last-mile delivery. The EIU launched a critical feasibility and market study in Honiara to identify specific gaps. This evidence-based approach will inform targeted investments, improving delivery efficiency and directly reducing costs for business and consumers alike. Capacity building was another pivotal pillar. Through 5 comprehensive training initiatives, including digital marketing and content creation, we trained and certified 75 SMEs, freelancers, youth, and entrepreneurs in Honiara and Malaita province. These initiatives enhances digital readiness, boost online visibility, and spark new business ventures. To directly empower businesses, the e-commerce unit designed and launched 2 targeted grant schemes. Our Grow Your Business Online program approved support for over 40 businesses, while the Strength e-commerce distribution program assisted 3 logistics providers, bolstering reliability and reach across the country. In the critical area of monitoring and accountability, the Solomon Islands achieved a regional milestone, sir. We became the first Pacific Island country to partner with UN Trade and Development to implement their e-trade reform tracker system, ensuring transparency and world-class progress measurement. Finally, in this area, we enhanced our regional leadership by presenting our national strategy update to the Pacific E-commerce Steering Committee meeting. This engagement facilitates peer learning, ensures alignment with the regional roadmap, and opens opportunities for future partnerships. These achievements underscores the government's unwavering commitment to building a trusted, inclusive, and enabling e-commerce ecosystem. As we look ahead to 2026, our focus shifts to scaling this impact, strengthening partnerships, and ensuring the benefits of e-commerce reach every province of the Solomon Islands. Sir, on the financial aspect in the ministry in 2025, on revenue, actual collection was 43.6 as of 30 November 2025. This represents only 46 of the actual budget as of 30 November. And this needs further investigation as to how the estimates was arrived at, or how we can strengthen compliance in ensuring that these revenues are fully collected. On the recurring budget, actual expenditures as at 30th November 2025 is 52.3 million. This represents 78% 8% of the actual budget, excluding the commitments. On development budget expenditure as at 30th November 2025 is 27.7 million. This represents 56% of the actual budget excluding the commitments. The total budget, recurrent and development expenditure as at 30th November 2025 is 79.6 million, and this represents 69% absorption of the total budget on 2025. So this, I believe, is a very good result for the Ministry of Commerce this year, despite the challenges and hindrances we faced during the implementation of planned activities and processes. So I therefore wish to thank my Permanent Secretary, Deputy Secretary and Directors and the entire Ministry team for their leadership, dedication and innovative skills in ensuring the work plans and programs of the ministries are implemented. This juncture, Mr. Speaker, sir, may I also acknowledge and thank our Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers, and as well as our backbenchers, sir. We have all demonstrated firm leadership and effectively steered the helm of our nation. The government has faced a challenging year marked by unexpected turbulences and probably political aftershocks. Despite these difficulties, we have remained resolute and focused on our responsibilities. I believe that our resilience stems from a common interest that binds us together: the national interest, the welfare of our people, and the strong desire to see Solomon Islands progresses. So, also this juncture, may I recognize the opposition and the independent group for exemplifying qualities of being a formidable watchdog in the history of our country. Through the shrewd scrutiny of the bills and on the performance of the government, they have kept the chamber on its toes and skillfully engaged the public as well. So much so that even if the government may perform good in several areas, sir, government can still be considered as being negligent sometimes. Lastly, sir, and by no means the least, may I thank the patience of the good people of my constituency, the Northwest Western constituency, and the tireless effort of officials of my constituency office in administering the CDF. Delivery of projects and supplies has been very slow in 2025. The last batches of supplies for 2025 will have to be distributed perhaps in January 2026. However, be rest assured that the projects and supplies, including housing material, canoe, and OBM, tanks, tools, etc., will surely be delivered to the intended recipients. In conclusion, sir, allow me to join the rest of the country in according Christmas and New Year greetings to our nation. To our Governor General, David Tiva Kapu and Lady Kapu, Honourable Speaker, and yourself, to our Prime Minister, Jeremiah Manele and Manda Manele, Cabinet Ministers, and all MPs, Chief Justice and Judges, Provincial Government MPAs, all public servants, including doctors, nurses, teachers, and police officers, all officials of SOEs, our development partners, all investors and business houses, leaders of all our denomination, and all good people across Solomon Islands, right down to the farmers from your mission. May the good Lord bless and sanctify all of us as we celebrate a joyful Christmas and look forward to a prosperous new year filled with peace and good health. With these remarks, I support the motion and resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister for Commerce and Honourable Member for North West Choice. I think time limit may go finish now, so I will now suspend debate and resume at 2 p.m.